Ever since Face Customizer came out, I've had a lot of characters to recreate, and you know, some turn out great, some turn out terrible, and now here I have a particularly challenging one, and it is perhaps my personal favorite model of all time, which is titled Swampwalker. The concept is simple, it's basically just out of a generic hermit with a very cool fire staff who survives a particularly evil swamp setting. Now, this model is almost like 2 years old or something crazy like that, and despite that, it honestly still holds up in my eyes. Like, I even tried to remake him a few months back, and it turned out kind of blah, because like I just didn't have enough new ideas on how to really improve what I'd already created, despite how old it originally was. But it's a different time now, we have Face Customizer, and with this new update I intend to challenge myself. I'm going to remake this model, make him cooler, and I will do it without any double modeling whatsoever. So yes, this will only be one single model on one base. Wish me luck. My older fans may also recognize this as one of the characters I made a Reddit short story for my own world building. And I also promised a few months ago that I would remaster this story and do a video on how you can write these kind of little comic style stories using Heroforge as a tool, and I will still do that. Also with recreated versions of all the other characters from that short story too, but it won't be in this video. I felt that this guy deserved his own little build just out of my own personal bias for this model. Now, one of the first things that will be noticeably different in this model from last time is just how slimmed down it will look. Not because the character is now skinny or whatever, but rather because Heroforge now just has better looking slim armor than it did 2 years ago. But just like last time, I will be using very similarly gritty colors for his clothing, like he's meant to blend in with his swampy surroundings, and so just like last time, these standout colors will come from very specific items like his glowing fire staff. When it comes to the face, we're going for a bit of a duality here. Like, we're trying to create a rather sunken looking person, right? Like one of whose features match that of his sickly looking greenish skin. But simultaneously, I want to make it clear in the bone structure itself that this character used to be very strong once upon a time. So simultaneously, we're going for very sharp features. Now, for his staff, we're going to do the classic old 3 arms in 1 trick to combine 3 different weapons. You know, a simple torch, a big mace to contain the flames in, and then a staff long enough to reach the grass base. Altogether, this will make a really awesome looking flame staff mace looking thing, which was always one of the iconic standout parts of this model in my opinion. And I'm honestly not changing much about it at all from 2 years ago. The fire glow on it is especially, like, it's one of those things on this model that isn't just a dark grey or green and dull, so it's very, very important to include this. I find in general, a lot of the people in the Heroforge community who make these dark, low fantasy, gritty models tend to forget how important it is to give characters just something to stand out. Like, Heroforge is a visual medium, right? Like, this is not Game of Thrones where every single character can look the same, like all of them in just like a grey-brown furs and nothing else, because I'm sorry, but you don't have George R.R. Martin's writing to set them apart. You only have the visual model and that's it. So make sure that something in them actually pops. Here's a classic Heroforge tail trick, made especially easy now that you can attach tails to a character's back. Effectively, all they are meant to achieve here is to make this shoulder pad look a little bit less taped on. Like, this wouldn't be necessary if we were double modeling, because I could have 2 shoulder pads, but you know, now we kind of have to be a little bit more creative than that. Finally, another Heroforge classic trick, an extra arm into the body to apply the old metal, and using glow is specifically on the lower layer but nowhere else here to make this like a rune in the middle stand out on its own was also quite a rare and unique trick by the time I first made this model. These days, you know, it's pretty standard, but that doesn't make it any less cool. I'm also adding just more and more tails here to mimic the old look of the Swampwalker's cloth wraps from the first model. Since we don't have double model this time around, I don't have much choice if I want to expand on this cloak, so this is what we gotta do. At last, these new face decals came out halfway through this model's creations, hence why I didn't apply them earlier, but here you go. The lightning crackles are called across the skin, and they're fantastic for all kinds of like sickly or diseased characters, and they're perfect for a concept like this. Just instead of lightning crackles, we basically just paint them like they're weird icky looking swamp veins over his face. And after some finishing touches, that is it, Swampwalker 2023. I am very happy with this upgrade, and I look forward to reposting him 50 times over for his remastered Reddit story. Until next time, see you then, bye bye.